as just at this moment, any more question is kind of like just thinking in a sense, for just for the time being, for the time being. I mean, it changed it changed from time to time. So at this stage, I was like, you know, yeah, for me, I don't want to be too much in a narrative. I mean, in your own, not your, but my own created uh, narratives, stories. So, I mean, it is true. I mean, any more questions are a form of thinking. So it's just that sometimes I do not know when is thinking and when is non-thinking, and when is really uh being aware. I mean, sometimes I was like, am I being aware, or am I actually thinking that thinking about that? I'm not too sure too. Okay. If there's a question, then it's
Sure,
probably about that
let's
in
just
a
use this
sense.
right now. So
Mm.
let's just use this to explore. So am I aware? Am I not aware? And if you just notice, like right now, that even just this question, is this question a thought? Yes? Right? So this question is a thought. Now, this thought, you are aware of the thought. Yes? So you are aware.
Yes, I am.
So you're always aware. You're aware of this conversation. You're aware of the body sitting there. You're aware of the sight, the sound, taste, touch, hearing, right? So it's you that's aware of the five senses and thinking. So there's an
Yeah.
experience of thinking in the five senses, right? So that is undeniable. But now we just question is, well, what is it that's aware of thinking in the five senses? But now the tendency right here is to go into thought. So it's a very specific question. And the question basically directs the attention back to its source. And the answer to that question is not going to be a thought. So the tendency is to, well, what's aware of thinking in the five senses, and then thought jumps in here and has a bunch of different ideas, suggestions. But those are just now just notice, isn't that more thinking? Isn't that more thought activity? That is. And that doesn't change the fact that you are still aware of that thought activity. So this is what I mean is at that stage is there's kind of it's like a distraction that if you give that thought activity importance and start getting entangled in that conceptual um is it this, is it that, I don't know, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, like all of this kind of, that's what you're saying is I don't want to get entangled in that. And the narrative is just notice that, okay, well, isn't that still more thinking activity? That's more thought activity. So yeah, it is. And that doesn't change the fact that it's that there's still awareness of that thinking activity. So it still doesn't really answer the question. All we just say is, well, don't get lost in that thought activity. Come back to just, okay, there's the awareness of that thought activity and the five senses. So from this angle, we can say, is the thought activity and the five senses appears to you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't it seem like like the thought activity and the five senses are in front of the awareness?
Mm.
right? So that which is experiencing the thought activity and the five senses, it's experiencing those objects in front of you, you being the awareness.
Mm.
So right now we can say that you are behind, you are prior to the thought activity and the five senses, because it is you, the awareness, that watches the thought activity appear and disappear. It is you, the awareness, that sees the momentum of that thought activity speed up or slow down. It's you, the awareness, that's aware of a calm state of mind or a confused state of mind or a restless state of mind. So the state of the mind is the state of the activity. Sometimes it's nice and calm. Sometimes it's restless, anxious, confused. Isn't it you, the awareness, that is observing the states of mind? The states of mind is the change in the mind activity, is it not? So this is like noticing the weather, right? You're watching the states of mind like the weather. And the mind is always changing. The weather is always changing. So that the question is really, well, just making it clear that it's you that's observing the states of mind. So you are prior to a calm mind or a confused mind. You are beyond a restless mind or a calm mind.
Mm.
You are prior, another word for like just saying it a different way. Beyond and prior, I use those words like just I say them both to give you, but it's that which is beyond. I'm saying, well, it's beyond, but it's also prior. Prior to the confusion, it's you that's aware of the confusion that's arising. It's you that's aware of the restlessness, the restless activity. It's you that's aware of the sounds that are appearing. So you watch the sound appear. That sound. That sound is appearing to you. You are prior
Mm.
to the sound, you are during the sound, you are after the sound.
Mm.
And the sound is not affecting the awareness. It's not changing the awareness. It's you that's noticing the sound appear and disappear. You are present prior to a thought, during a thought, and after a thought. You are prior to an emotion, but you are also present during the emotion, and you are present after an emotion. So you're seeing that for all the five senses, it's the same. If you were to close your eyes and imagine being on the beach, imagine the waves, imagine the sand, imagine sitting on the beach having a drink. This imagination, what is it? What is it that's aware of this imagination? This imagination is an activity that is appearing. It's the appearance of a beach, the image of a beach, the image of the ocean and the sand and a body sitting in a chair and a drink. But that which is aware is present prior to this imagination and during this imagination. And now, when I say forget about this imagination, stop imagining, it's also present after the imagination. So it sees that image come and go. It sees the image appear and disappear. But that which is aware of the image appearing and disappearing, is it appearing or disappearing? Is it appearing and disappearing? The awareness? No, it's not. It's not appearing or disappearing. That image of the beach, it's gone now. Right? Imagine an elephant. Now imagine a tiger. Now imagine a monkey. You see that these imaginations are changing. The images are changing. Elephant, tiger, monkey. The images are changing. These thoughts are changing. Thought of the elephant, then thought of the tiger, then thought of the monkey. With the thought, then comes the image. They arise simultaneously. So those thoughts and images are an activity that is appearing to you. And that which is aware of the thoughts and images changing, is it changing? Is the awareness changing? Your experience was that there was no thought of anything. Then there was the thought of an elephant, which came with an appearance of an elephant, an imagination. Then your experience was that elephant thought disappeared and the image of the elephant disappeared. And then appeared a new thought, which was a tiger. And that came with an image of a tiger. And then that thought disappeared. And that image disappeared. And then there was a new thought, new image, which was the monkey. So you're seeing that these thoughts are changing, but the awareness is not changing. They're different thoughts, are they not? The elephant thought, the tiger thought, and the monkey thought, these are different thoughts, right? But is it a different awareness? Is it a different awareness, or is it the same awareness, the one awareness?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Same awareness.
it's one awareness experiencing different thoughts. It's the changeless awareness that's experiencing the changing thoughts. It's the ever-present awareness that is experiencing the coming and going of thoughts and images. Now, is this awareness, is it moving at all?
Moving meaning.
Well, think of the elephant. Now think of the tiger. Now think of the monkey. Is it your experience that the thoughts are moving?
The thoughts on.
The thoughts are moving, right? But that which is aware of the moving thoughts, is the awareness moving?
No, but sometimes the awareness is sharper, sometimes it's more blunt, sometimes it's fuzzy, sometimes it's obligation. Mainly aware, but sometimes oblivious to maybe, yeah.
No, because even this is seen.
Mm,
So even this confusion that you say, or fuzziness,
mm,
that's just the state of mind,
mm,
right? Because you're saying it's confusion, right? What you're saying is sometimes there's confusion, but you're associating the awareness as being the confusion.
mm,
But the awareness is not confused,
mm,
right? So let's use that example, confusion being the clouded sky. It's clouded, right? When someone says my mind is clouded, they'll say it's like it's confused. It's too clouded. So the confusion is like being clouded. But what is illuminating those clouds? What is it that's seeing the clouds? What is it that's seeing the confusion?
Awareness.
Right. And that which is seeing the cloudedness, the confusion, is not itself confused. That cloudedness, that confusion is an appearance. The confusion appears to you, the awareness. So the awareness itself is not a state. Confusion is a state. Confusion comes and it goes. Right? That's why I said there's the awareness that's illuminating that confusion. How would you know about the confusion if it wasn't for the fact that you are aware? Could you experience
An
confusion?
afterthought.
Say it again?
It was like a few seconds delay. It was like an afterthought. Oh, I mean, I was like, oh, what was I doing? I probably was spaced out. Wasn't. So there was some delay in that sense. When you realize that, gee, I was in that state of confusion, or sometimes even oblivion of what's happening. So that, it's more like an afterthought, realizing what happens before.
Okay. So this confusion or this restless mind, the activity of the mind is restless. You've experienced that before? The restless mind, a lot of thoughts, fast
Yeah.
thoughts,
Yeah.
agitation, right?
Mm-hmm.
But is the awareness moving like this? The mind is moving like this, agitation and fast thoughts. But is the awareness doing that? Like right now, are you thinking about it?
Am I thinking about?
Yeah,
I'm thinking about your question.
when I ask you the question and you start
Right.
nodding your head and kind of looking up in the air, you're thinking about it. You're thinking about
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want you to think about it. I want you
Okay.
I want you to go to the actual experience.
Mm.
The answer is experiential. It's not conceptual.
Mm.
Where you're drifting off is back into the thought. I can see it. But right now, go to the actual experience. This conversation is a movement, right? This conversation, there's speaking happening, sounds that are moving. That which is aware of the conversation, is it a sound? Is it moving?
Mm. No.
No, it's silent and still, is it not? That which is experiencing this sound movement, the conversation here, that which is listening to the sounds, the sound of the conversation. It's not itself a sound.
Mm-hmm.
That which is experiencing the movement of the conversation. It's not itself a movement.
Mm-hmm.
This is your experience?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So right now you're aware of the silence and stillness that is experiencing the conversation. Yes? or no?
Mm.
There's
Yep.
silence and stillness that is present,
Yeah, it is.
and you are aware of the silence and stillness.
Yes.
So this stillness, this is what I mean by it's not moving, is it? This stillness is not moving.
Oh, I see. Unless I let it, as in, unless I um rest back. Okay. So if I rest back, then I'll be aware of that, right? I mean, but if I mm, mm, oh, it's a kind of relenting uh, sort of. It's a kind of like resting back, right? As in to feel it, right?
We could say that. I follow what you're saying. Yes. And what is that like? What's that experience of relaxing back,
Feels good.
right? Right? Yes. So there's a relaxing of that focus. There's a
Mm,
relaxing of the attention. Now you're experiencing that contrast where you notice that going into thought, it's a feeling of contraction versus
mm,
relaxation. Can you feel that difference? That when I say, well, be aware of the stillness, in order to be aware of the stillness, there's what feels like a relaxation backward movement instead of
mm, mm,
contracting forward movement. You're aware of that difference?
mm, mm.
So
Yes.
perfect. So just allow the attention to relax. Allow the attention to relax backwards. Allow that relaxation to come back to rest. That which is rest is not moving. So the stillness is the rest.
Mm,
And here you are. That you are this rest. That the attention has just relaxed back into itself, into its
mm,
source. The source of the attention is this rest. It is you. So you see how it's the opposite direction. You're used to going forward.
mm,
You're searching for the answer in thought, which is a forward movement. But what I'm pointing to is more seen
mm,
as it's backwards, just using this kind of
mm.
dualistic referencing here, but it works for
Right,
this step. You see, it's the
right.
opposite direction. It's a relaxation. It's not stressing and trying to figure it out. It's not trying. It's actually cessation of trying. You're not trying. Relaxation is withdrawing. It's the withdrawal of trying. You stop trying.
Mm,
So it's
mm,
it's a feeling of sinking into that stillness,
mm,
falling back into rest. It's very much like falling asleep. You relax into sleep. You can't try to go to sleep. The more you try to go to sleep, the more unlikely it is that you're going to go to sleep. So
right, right.
it's very much like that. This realization, it's you don't get to it through effort. The realization is effortless, just like sleep is effortless. You can't get to sleep via effort.
Mm,
So that's why I said, like, when I see the nodding of the head and the looking up, You're going to thought and there's a contraction. The attention is focusing, which means it's narrowing. It's like a camera lens. It's narrowing and going forward. It's zooming in. I'm saying relax and allow the attention to zoom out. So then you experience that it's a wider perspective. It's more spacious. It's an opening. You're able to experience that?
Yeah.
Yes. So you just allow it to relax. Keep allowing the attention to relax. Allow it to relax. And just allow it to come all the way back to rest. Allow the attention to relax back to rest. And then you're simply aware of yourself as the rest. It's you that is not moving. Because it's you that is even aware of the attention. Isn't it you that's watching this attention either move forward or backward? Isn't it you that's aware of the contrast that I just described? Contracting, relaxing, forward and backward, closed or open? Isn't it you that's aware of this? It's only you that can confirm it. So you are aware of what I just mentioned?
Yes.
Perfect. So this is good. Because
Thank you.
now you're aware of really the most subtle activity, which is attention. It's more subtle than thought. You're aware of the attention that's attending thought activity. You're aware of the movement of attention. Attention is a movement. And notice how now you're aware of it. You are behind even attention. You are prior to attention because you are what's watching the attention go outward and getting lost in thought and coming back home. Now, what is home? Notice how the attention isn't outward, being lost in thought. When you said that the attention, it relaxed and it came back, where does it come back to? If thought is on one side of attention, what's on the other side of attention?
I don't know, because it just feels like the body is very super relaxed. I mean, so goes back to my body.
Well, let's see. So the attention, let's think of an elephant. Attention attends the thought of the elephant. Okay, so it attends the thought. The thought is an object. And the attention goes to that object. So can you confirm that the attention goes to the object, which is a thought of an elephant?
Yeah.
Okay. So now my question is, where did the attention come from? You're thinking about it. Don't think about it. Don't think about it.
Yeah.
The attention goes to the thought. You can confirm that. Yes?
Yes.
So listen to the words. It's going to the thought. Follow it back. Follow it back from that thought. Follow the attention back to where it came from. Experientially, don't think about it. right now. Follow the attention. Where did it come from? Don't answer the question. Just follow the attention back to where it came from. Didn't it come from this rest that you're experiencing?
I don't know, but it just feels good. I don't know.
Follow the attention to the thought again. Go right to that thought. There's a thought of an elephant. Follow the attention to the thought of the elephant. Now follow the attention back to where it came from. It's the opposite direction. Can you notice the difference? On one end of the attention, it feels different than the other end, does it not?
Yeah.
What is the
Yeah.
difference? How would you describe that difference?
Oh, I would describe it as the difference I feel in my body. The
Mhm.
body feels different. Yeah.
Like what? Don't be so general. Describe it.
Um. Oh, the body feels um when you kind of pull back, um, the body feels more. It's definitely more relaxed for sure. It feels more tingling. It feels more um loosen.
Yep.
Kind of, yeah.
Mhm.
Um, more or less like that, like as if um um it's kind of uh oh yeah, the tension, the if there's ever tension that's holding up the organs, for example, then the tension is kind of like letting go itself.
Mhm.
Not totally, but yeah,
Yep.
more something along that line.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that's on one end of the attention, and then when it goes to the thought, what is the experience then? Do you feel the tension? Do you feel like that tension comes back and there's more of a contraction?
Oh no, then uh, we will be less aware of the nice feeling just now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm getting you to get clear about. That what you're describing is that nice feeling is where the attention has left to go to the thought. So by me asking you, where does the attention come from? I'm getting the attention to come back to that nice feeling.
Mm,
And when you follow the attention back, then you are aware of that nice feeling. Are you not?
yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is self-inquiry. This is I'm just using the attention. I'm just saying that because it's like a rubber band. It's getting stretched, the add tension, right? It's under tension. It's going to a thought, and it's always going to thought, 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 thought. And I'm saying, well, what happens if you just relax that rubber band? Doesn't it just return to rest? The natural state of the rubber band is relaxed. The rubber band's natural state isn't tension. It's only getting pulled into tension. So what I'm showing you is if you're always just used to experiencing that tension because of being always going to thought, I'm just saying, well, where's that rubber band? Where does it come from? If one end is going to a thought, where is the other end? So follow it. And in that way, there's a relaxing of that attention to find out where's the anchor point? Where does it come from? If one end is fixed on a thought, where is the other end? Now notice how the other end is not on a thought. So again, allow the attention to relax. That you're just relaxing into rest. And then just remain as the rest. But don't wait for something to happen, and don't wait for next. There's no goal, there's no objective, there's no purpose. Just follow this guidance here. Simply allow the attention to relax. You're not interested in the words or any thoughts or anything in particular. No interest. So then the attention naturally relaxes back to rest. And just remain here. This is rest. This is what you are. Notice how you are aware, but you're not doing anything. There's no identification with any thought. There's no story. Isn't that rest? Free from thought? It's not a thought. The rest itself is not a thought. It's not a story. Allow the attention to relax. Allow the attention to relax and return to rest. And then just remain as the rest. Now, is this rest suffering in any way? Is this rest unhappy? Is it hurt? Is it in conflict with anything? Does it need anything? This is your true nature. This is you. You are this rest. It's only rest that can experience rest. An activity can't experience rest. This rest is not an activity. It's not a movement. It's not an appearance. It's not an image of anything. It's not a thought. It's not any of the five senses. This rest is prior to thinking. It's prior to the five senses. This rest is prior to the activity. And see how you're just simply resting as the rest. That you are aware of rest. Not you may aware of rest. You rest, are aware of yourself, rest. So notice you're not doing anything to rest. You can't do anything to rest. It's actually the cessation of doing. You stop doing. And this is why you are simply resting. So we just say that you're just simply being. You're being, you're not doing. You're not telling a story. You're not playing with the thoughts. You're just simply being. So this being is rest. This being is prior to the doing. When all you know is the doing, which is the thinking, then it's as if you've forgotten about being. You forgot what's prior to the doing. But it's right here. It's where you are. That this rest is present. Now, did this rest come from somewhere? No. It was always here. Was it not? The experience is that it was just, in a sense, behind you. You're always looking forward to the thinking activity and the five senses. That's what appears to you. And that's where the attention is always going. And it overlooks itself. Just like I said, is, well, where does that attention come from? If the attention is going out to thinking and smelling and tasting and touching and seeing and hearing, that's the attention going to places. It's like it's going to stores. Well, where did it come from? Well, that attention has come from home. Well, what's the nature of home? Let's rest. When the attention is not going to these places, it's just simply at rest. What I'm saying is, home is you. That's why you can't find home, because it's where you are. You are home. Home is you. It's the attention that's left home. You haven't left home. You can't leave home. It's the attention that goes out, gets lost in the thinking activity. And is on the spiritual journey of trying to find home. And what I just said was very simple. Where did the attention come from? It's looking for home and it's lost. Well, where did it come from? It came from home. And it's you that's watched it come back home. Is it not? You watch the attention relax and come back to you. So you've watched the attention move, but you yourself have never moved. The attention can wander and get lost. This is the sayings. Sorry, my attention wandered. Sorry, my attention got lost. I lost my attention. But you yourself are not lost. You lost your attention, but I just said, well, watch it come back to you. It's like losing a dog. You're out on the path and your dog runs into the forest and you watch it come back to you. The dog wandered off of the path. You saw the dog wander and you saw the dog come back. Like this, it's you that's seeing the attention wander, get lost in thoughts. And it's you that's watching the attention come back to you. Is this not your experience? When you say I got lost in thought, that's what you're saying, but that's not really what's happening. It's more accurate to say the attention got lost in thought because it's you that's watched the attention wander and get lost in thought. Can you see how this is giving you a different perspective? Can you feel how everything has slowed down now? So this is good. This is good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So nice.
You're welcome. Well, you enjoy the rest that you are.